Evening gamers. So it's finally official. Sony are going to give us our first state of play of 2025. It's happening tomorrow. They've promised more than 40 games, PS5 related games. No mentions of PlayStation VR 2, so that seems to confirm that PS VR 2 is not going to be potentially not going to be getting many games this year. It looks like it's going to be all PS5 focus year for Sony. But yes, more than 40 games are going to be announced, as well as news and updates are going to be a part of this. In fact, Sony have said to expect news and updates on great games coming to PS5. The show will celebrate creative and unique selections of exciting games from studios around the world. And obviously, they're going to be broadcasting it on YouTube and Twitch. And of course, the times slots are going to be obviously 10 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern in North America, and then of course 11 p.m. Central in Europe to give you give you sort of a indication of the time slots for this show. Now, of course, you're probably wondering what type of announcements can we expect. Well, there has been a leaked trailer that came out recently for Metal Gear Solid Delta. Snake Eyes did accidentally confirm the release date of the 28th of August, so there is a possibility this is going to be where it's going to be confirmed. Considering the fact that it's already leaked recently, it wouldn't be surprising if it was here. And then another game that's also popped up on the Xbox store recently is The Hell Is Us, which is the game that Sony announced back in September. It looks as though pre-orders are going to be starting for that game potentially this week, as already pre-order pages are being made on Xbox as well as on PlayStation in preparation to accept pre-orders for this game's title, as well as the deluxe edition for the game that's also now being confirmed through these pre-order pages on Xbox that yes, there will be a standard and a deluxe edition for Hell Is Us when it releases. And then, of course, you can obviously expect hopefully some news on Ghost of Yutai, obviously the Ghost of Tsushima sequel, which is due in 2025. Hopefully we'll have a release date announced by Sony this week, should that be a part of the plan. But then another interesting question would be is whether or not Rockstar will show up, because if you don't recall, Sony does have the marketing deal for GTA. And if that's the case, then with that knowledge, does that open the door for Rockstar to potentially show up at Sony's State of Play tomorrow instead of making everybody wait till potentially Valentine's Day? Because a lot of GTA fans believe Valentine's Day is looking promising for a trailer for GTA 6. So maybe State of Play could be the earliest we could see a GTA 6 trailer too, if they end up deciding to show up on Sony's broadcast tomorrow. I wouldn't rule it out just yet, considering this is Rockstar. They have a great relationship with Sony, so there is potential there, and also it's more than 40 minutes. So who's to say that GTA wouldn't show up on Sony's broadcast this year? I mean, they're gonna show up on Sony's State of Play eventually, so maybe this will be a good time to start hyping up PlayStation's announcements for GTA, especially if they're making any PS5 bundles for the new GTA, which I think it's pretty obvious that's going to happen. So maybe this is a good opportunity for Sony to start helping Rockstar to hype up the game, considering they both interested in this title. So there's no reason for Sony not to want to help Rockstar get exposure for GTA 6 this year, should they want to make it as part of the State of Play announcements this week, which I think there's a good chance of that happening should Rockstar decide to provide with the trailer instead of themselves announcing it, which will be a very smart move from Rockstar should they do it. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays down, but I'm definitely going to be reacting to this on stream tomorrow. Definitely. It's going to be definitely worth doing on stream, I think. I think we're going to have to react to this. So let me know if you're excited in the comment section below. I certainly am, and I can't wait. Finally glad it's been confirmed now. State of Play. It's happening tomorrow. I'm ready. So with that knowledge now out there, they do mention about there is, however, a new report about a new PS5 bundle already being planned for 2025, which involves Astrobot. Because it looks as though that Sony are planning to make a PS5 bundle, including a digital voucher, a digital code, should I say, of Astrobot, alongside Astro Playroom, which is free with the PS5. So it looks as though they are making potential bundles from mid-March to involve the Game of the Year Astrobot as well as that free Astro Playroom. So then essentially you get 2 Astrobot games for one bundle, which is really, really helpful. And this could also be a part of the announcements tomorrow, should they decide to make this as part of their big announcements at the State of Play tomorrow, which is already now seemed to be discussed that they are planning to bundle Astrobot with PS5s as a brand new console bundle for 2025, which we all know another one will likely be GTA 6 that's going to be coming later in the year, as we have already been reassured that GTA 6 is due in 2025. That is something else to look forward to there. And then on top of that, there's announcements of physical copies of the PS5 edition of Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. It's coming in June. Pre-orders have now gone live. Should you want to pre-order physical copies, a physical boxed version of Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered that came out back in December, they're now doing physical copies of the game ready for June, which is nice. As well as this, we did also find out Death Stranding 2 will be getting some more announcements being made in March, because they are going to be having a special panel taking place on the 9th of March as part of the SXSW 2025 event in Austin, Texas, where they will be revealing more details of Death Stranding 2. So it's starting to sound very likely that Death Stranding 2 will not be present at State of Play tomorrow. So it looks like we're not going to be seeing any Death Stranding 2 announcements tomorrow. It looks like they're all saving it for the 9th of March, which makes perfect sense if they're wanting to save it for a bigger occasion in March, which is fair enough. So we're probably not going to be hearing any details about Death Stranding 2 till next month. I know it's going to be a bit of a bummer, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be worth the wait. Marvel's Arrivals are also getting ready to introduce 2 more characters as part of Season 1. Human Touch and The Thing joins Marvel Arrivals next week in a new update for PS5, due out on the 21st of Feb. Should you want to get your hands on these playable Fantastic Four heroes that come to Marvel Arrivals next week. So that's really good to hear that they're bringing that in. We also got a little hint towards what game could be coming to PlayStation Plus potentially within the next week, or as part of the next update. So it looks as though next week's PlayStation Plus games could include Splatoon 3, which is the final part of the Rhythm RPG trilogy that is yet to be brought to PlayStation Plus Premium. So it looks like that could finally make its way to the service as of next week as part of the PlayStation Plus Premium update, which they're meant to be, of course, they're expected to announce details about that tomorrow, which will probably be announced during who's to say they won't make the announcement during the State of Play tomorrow. There's a very good chance of that happening, but I feel like they're going to announce it beforehand anyway, because they usually announce this in a blog post. So yeah, we're going to find out tomorrow what other games are coming to PlayStation Plus, and hopefully this will be the month that Hogwarts Legacy joins the service, because this has been long overdue. So hopefully Hogwarts Legacy will finally make its debut on PlayStation Plus this month, should they finally get round to doing it. Then we have the conversation of Resident Evil 5 getting a PS5 port, which may join Resident Evil 6, which are 2 upcoming Resident Evil games to get native PS5 version down the road, even though we still yet to have official confirmations of these ports, which it's nice to hear that there's some more Resident Evils being ported over to the PS5 in future releases, which is nice to know. Then on top of this, you may have heard about Monster Hunter Wilds has extended its beta for another 24 hours due to the PSN network issues, so they've extended it further, which is nice to see. And then on top of that, they also announced that there's going to be a cross-play on beta test that's going to be kicking off from Friday from the 13th of February at 7 p.m. Pacific till the 17th of February, 7 p.m. Pacific, which is when they're going to be testing it with cross-play enabled, which is what's going to be available for the Monster Hunter Wilds beta when it has its second beta this coming weekend, which is nice. So if you fancy trying out Monster Hunter Wilds, then you'll have a chance to try it with cross-play enabled this weekend. Then on top of this, we've also heard discussions about the idea of God of War. It's potentially going to Greece as part of its next illustration, so that there is talks that the new God of War, the next God of War, could have a bit of an Egyptian theme going on, particularly featuring Greeks. Greek origins could be a part of the next God of War. Should they be working on the next God of War, this could be the theme they might be going for this next entry of God of War. Should they consider going down this path, we'll see whether any of this ends up being true when they finally get round to doing this God of War release down the road. We'll see what happens there. As well as this, we've also had some very interesting details about the fact that Back to the Future is apparently going to be getting a brand new game in the works. Yes, Back to the Future, a very popular film series from the 80s, now getting a brand new video game project in the works. And they've got other projects in the pipeline as well as this game. So there's obviously going to be some, and also more importantly, this year is its 40th anniversary. So there's going to be a lot of events to celebrate Back to the Future's 40th anniversary. And this game is going to be a part of the announcements potentially. So it'd be interesting to see what type of game we're going to get regarding Back to the Future. Could it be a more realistic version of Back to the Future in a video game environment? We'll have to wait and see what type of game we're going to get. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more details about it soon as part of its 40th anniversary celebration. And then, of course, we come to another thing that Sony has also done due to the whole PSN outage is the fact that they've extended the PlayStation Plus to all members by adding an extra 5 days to your subscription of PlayStation Plus should you have been affected by the PSN outage from this past weekend. So that's really good that they've extended stuff to PlayStation Plus members who were affected by the whole downtime that PlayStation was having over the course of the weekend. So hopefully majority of it has been resolved, even though a lot of us have obviously got more questions after the whole downtime situation. Then, of course, we just seen more and more evidence from the fact that Warner Brothers and Jason Schreier is obviously continuing to report that, in regards to Avalanche Software's plans for Hogwarts Legacy, they are working on, of course, Hogwarts Legacy 2, so we know that's in the pipeline. But then at the same time, they're also working on an extended, I guess you could say, a re-release of the first one with more content, definitely still in the pipeline. So it looks as though the way things are looking is that Hogwarts Legacy is not only going to get a re-release with like a director's cut release of the game with more content, which we'll hopefully find out maybe later. Well, apparently it's going to be due later this year. We'll have to see how it all plays out. The possibilities of maybe hearing Hogwarts Legacy 2 later this year. What's the possibilities of that? We'll have to wait and see if indeed there's a slight possibility that we'll finally know more details about Hogwarts Legacy 2 officially from Warner Brothers and Avalanche Software, which I'm sure a lot of Hogwarts Legacy fans would love to know about the sequel and see where they're going to take things. Are they going to multiplayer? I mean, could they be adding any multiplayer functionalities into this new Hogwarts Legacy? I think a lot of us are interested to see what they're going to do with it, and hopefully we'll learn more about it later this year, I hope, if there is any hope, finding out details about the game sooner rather than later. Then on top of this, we found out four more games have been added to your Stream Your Own Game service. Bloodstained, The Router of the Night, Return to Grace, just to name two of the games that are a part of the whole Stream Your Own Games service on Xbox, where you can stream quite a lot of games. They've got 65 games in total that you can stream through the Xbox Cloud Gaming, which is nice to see that they allow you to stream these games in effect, which is really, really good. And then on top of this, we've also got the fact that Microsoft are also assisting the development of the Xbox console launch exclusive Mecha Break coming in spring 2025. So Microsoft are also working to ensure that Mecha Break releases on Xbox in 2025. So that's good to know that they are due to have this released by the spring. At least a good thing we're going to be hearing, hopefully be getting a release date for this game soon from Microsoft and the team. Now, in terms of Delta Force, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, when is Delta Force even going to be coming to console? When does that launch happen? Well, it seems as though Xbox could be getting close to a release as well, because they've recently announced the Black Hawk's Down is going to be releasing on PC on the 21st of Feb, so that's next week, which obviously this portion of the game game will require payment, unlike the free-to-play multiplayer. But they do, however, mention that they expect they previously announced